Hey guys, welcome to the Kasper Konnect podcast. We are so glad that you are back just trying to connect with us, even though you're in the field and we are not most of the time. So thanks for being here. And today, I think we're talking about our other new updated value, correct?
Yep.
Which would be
ownership. We need someone with the buttons. But yeah, so we're talking about ownership today because as we kind of moved from our previous value statement to more of this let's go statement. That was excellent, by the way.
It's like you guys planned that.
Trying to own it.
We want to talk about ownership. And so, you know, as we have our different values, love, excellence, trust, stewardship, growth, ownership, I guess one of the questions we need to answer is what's the difference between stewardship and ownership?
That's a great question. And in many cases, I think it's a blurry line.
Totally.
You know, I kind of go back to Psalm 24:1. It's like the world is the Lord's and everything in it. So all these tangible things that we think we own, or have control over, like as we're driving our car, like we can own that travel. We can think we own the travel, but it's like, man, the weather, the sleep that the person in front of us had the night before, there are so many things that are outside of our actual control. So like, what do we actually have control over? Everything else is pretty much stewardship. And even some of the ownership stuff, I think, feels like stewardship. And I feel like for me, it's the intangibles, the things that you can't touch. Like we may have paid for this, but we're stewarding this, and technically it's God's. That's what the Bible says. The wire, the conduit, all the materials that we use, even our time is God's. But it's like, man, how we show up, our attitude, our perspective. I think we can have a sense of ownership of that, or I feel like I do. I can have a sense of ownership of how I'm going to respond. When I come home to my kids and I've had a really difficult day, like I need to steward my relationship with that really well. And the way I do that is owning my responses.
Yeah, no, it's good. You could keep going. Sorry.
No.
I thought you had a break.
I saw the
thought
breath.
I was
I'm
coming
like,
in.
there's something good coming. Let's hear it.
So I totally agree with what you're saying. And I'm just going to double down. It's like we own, like God gave us ownership of the earth. Like we have temporary ownership of the earth. We are entrusted to take care of it, to take care of one another. And so he has entrusted that to us, but we do it from a mindset. We own it from a mindset that it is ultimately owned by the Lord. And so we're owning it and everything that we're doing and everything that we're taking care of and stewarding well, but we do it knowing it's totally ultimately owned by God, and we're not doing it separate from him. It's in conjunction with him. And so, like he said, we own our part of what we're doing and how we're stewarding what God has given us every single day. And so that's, I think a good way to explain it.
Yeah.
I'm just still thinking about like the whole vastness of like nothing is ours, everything is the Lord's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like getting into like the whole free will topic in my mind. Too far. Like what's going on? So, my mind's
That's
like,
a different podcast.
Yeah. So
Let me throw this out there, because as you guys have rightly described, like ownership is like it's all the Lord's. But when we attach that kind of biblical thought to it, how do we help with maybe even some of our office mates and teammates that aren't thinking in that capacity? What is the implications of that mean for them when we're like, man, it's the Lord's, so this is what I'm doing, right? Like where are we coming from when we're saying from that perspective, it's leading us to this place, this action, this conclusion. And so it's like, is it like, because it's the Lord's, man, I'm doing it in this capacity. I'm doing it with this like heart or whatever.
I think it's, I think that's actually part of a bigger question, because I think it comes down to the value you place on it being the Lord's, or the value you place on the person who's entrusted the thing to you. And so like, for example, if I'm watching, Justin's kids, like that's my family. Like I would lay my life down for any one of those children at any point in time, And so it's like, man, the value you place. And so I think it's tough. I think if you have a general sense of understanding, you know, who God is and believing that he's created everything and he's given us everything, it's easier to hold things in that high esteem and that high value. But if you don't necessarily see it in that way, you may not value it to that level. But that doesn't mean that you can't. We tell everybody when they come on board here, like, you do not have to believe what we believe. We just want you to understand the values with which we are going to operate.
Yeah.
And so that's how we operate. And so we expect you and everyone on the team, and ourselves included, and please hold us accountable if you don't feel like we are being good owners or stewards of you and your, you know, employment here. But so we don't require you to believe that, but know that that's how we're going to operate and how we expect everyone else to operate. And so maybe if that's not even the value system that you come from, know that that's the value system we're holding everybody to. You know, treat it like it's your own. You know, we do unto others mentality. It's like, hey, if you're going to give somebody something of yours, how would you want them to treat it? Well, that's the way that you should be treating everything, which, like it or not, is a biblical value. But it could be a good, you know, partnership to that thought process if you're not directly aligned.
Yeah.
I think of, like, what are some of the things as examples that we can view as good or poor ownership? And it's some of the conversations I've had with guys and girls that are either showing up late. Typically the first conversation is, hey, what's going on? Like, how can we partner with you to make sure that you're showing up on time? Maybe you're having car issues. Like, let's talk about it. We have resources. But like, excuses almost never point to ownership. Like, I can't stand excuses. Like, it's the opposite of ownership, is pushing the ownership onto something or someone else. Like, the idea of, like, yes, I've known I've had this issue. Like, Willie, I bring this up anytime somebody says late and I'm having an issue, get to work. Willie was homeless and took Palmtran, and he would get to our Killian office 20 years ago. And I'd be there at sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning, and Willie'd be there at like 5:30, and I'd hear his backpack hit the outside and he'd just sit outside. I'm like, man, if Willie chooses to not have excuses, he was owning his responsibility to get to work, even if it meant being there an hour and a half early. And I just love that idea. So the opposite of ownership, I think, might look like an excuse. So if you find an excuse coming out of your mouth, and I do it, everybody does it. And sometimes that's an attitude. We have to own that attitude. It's like, man, I hear this excuse coming out. I need to own, this is my ownership opportunity to respond in a way that's actually truthful and puts me in a position to grow. And even if it's in somebody who's like, if you're a foreman, if there's an apprentice or a mechanic there, what an amazing opportunity to own your attitude and go, hey guys, man, I'm sorry. No excuses. This is what I'm going to do tomorrow, and I'm going to show up with a better attitude and on time to be an example for you guys. And I think that's some examples of what ownership looks like and what bad ownership looks like. Man, excuses, I think, almost always lead to bad ownership.
I think in pointing fingers too is another great way to show a lack of ownership. Like, hey guys, what's going on here? And it's like, oh, well, Justin's not doing this. And Drew, it's like, you know, own the fact that we all play a part, and we can all be, you know, like, yes, not everything is in your control, and other people obviously do impact the quality of what's happening all day. But rather than pointing fingers, like, how can I help? You know, or what part could I have played in this to maybe make this a little bit better or not happen the way it happened?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
There's nothing I hate more than when people say that's not my job. Oh, that bugs me so much.
Which could be true.
Yes,
but
yeah,
that's just a really bad ownership and stewardship mentality, because we could all, if you've got a team of 7 and the lowest guy in the totem pole can lead from that position. You can lead from any position, and part of that leadership might look like you know, calling your foreman after he says something like that and say, hey, would you like me to call you? Maybe I can pick you up tomorrow. Like, that's ownership. And everybody, if you can look inward going, how could I have a positive application to whatever this scenario is? That's what ownership or extreme ownership could look like.
Yeah. Because if something on your team's, if something's not getting done, right? Which would be the reason somebody would be saying, oh, that's not my job because something didn't get done or something's not happening right. It's like, well, hey, that's your team, man. You own your team, own being part of that team, and ask how you can help so that things aren't getting
it's
done.
like Justin's saying, it's like you're seeing a problem, you're pointing it out, you're doing nothing about it. When you can do something, even it's not directly your job. So you know,
that's good.
Some of the ideas that we should implement more is like find a problem, bring 2 solutions. One problem, 2 solutions.
I love
and it
that.
trains everybody to think outside the box. And they may be really bad ideas, but bring them.
Yeah.
Because you get in the habit of like identifying issue, solutions. So now I'm thinking of at least twice as many solutions as I am recognizing problems. And that's the beginning of what, you know, great leadership looks like. And so even if you are the apprentice, when you're starting to do that and owning your responsibility or what you can contribute, we start giving you a little bit more responsibility. And it builds one of our other previous values of trust.
Yeah.
Can I give one more example of bad ownership? Some people that take way too much ownership by owning everything and taking credit for everything. And so I mean ownership in a bad light, not a good light. But like, oh, look at what I did and look at what I've accomplished. And oh, well, yeah, but I fixed that and I took care of that. I've had conversations with people on the team, and that's just that's what you continually hear. And it's like, you're taking ownership in the wrong direction because remember, nothing that we're doing alone. Like somebody has given you the tools, the resources, the education, the training, the development to do whatever you've done today. So it's not all you, you know, every one of us is needed to be able to do what we need to do. And so, that's just another way I think some people take that in the wrong direction.
One of the greatest things that we value is someone who's training the next level.
For sure.
And so anytime you do that, it robs your ability to do that to the next person. So owning the responsibility of building the next generation should stop you from doing that. So man, ownership is dynamic. I mean, all of our values are fairly dynamic, diverse, and they all point to each other. So I love the idea of let's go, and I hope everyone really gets behind it because, man, it's going to be a powerhouse to get us to where we want to go, which isn't a dollar value, isn't anything. It's an industry leader, a business as a ministry, and just an opportunity to grow and build stronger families and leaving every connection better than we found it. I'm super excited.
Love that.
Wait, one more time. Love, excellence, trust, stewardship, growth, ownership.
Let's go. Hey guys, make sure you write ownership in the comments below with your name, and that way you can enter in a $100 Visa gift card. Thank you guys for tuning in.